Welcome to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hi everyone, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. Hope everyone had a lovely Monday. I legit thought it was Tuesday all day yesterday and I was extremely bummed to wake up and find out that today was not Wednesday. It's actually Tuesday. Yeah, I guess it was definitely a Monday for me yesterday. But today we have a lot of juicy Royal Daily Tea to get through. So sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So we do have a couple more excerpts and some stories from Tom Bower's book. This one is one we have talked about previously on my channel, kind of dispelling one of the many myths and lies that Miss Meghan Markle told on the Oprah Winfrey interview, the infamous, "I didn't know what it was like to be a royal, nobody helped me, and I didn't even know how to curtsy." Yeah, that whole fake lie that she told everyone with a straight face, while Harry sat next to her. Again, if you watch the interview, Harry looks very uncomfortable, in my opinion. He kind of looked like he was going to say, and then he didn't say anything. Did anyone notice that? He looked uncomfortable because he could tell his wife was telling a little white lie, in my opinion, because we're going to get some facts and some receipts. Tom Bower is delivering the goods. So let's get into the story. Meghan Markle had a team of 14 staffers to help her assemble into the royal family. Queen Elizabeth II helped to assemble a team of 14 intelligent and experienced officials to teach Meghan Markle about the expectations placed on members of the royal family, according to Tom Bower. On Meghan and her introduction to royal life following her engagement to Prince Harry in November of 2017, Bower said that a team of 14 staff helped the former actress to adjust to her new role, in addition to a group of the Queen's closest friends who also offered their advice. The Queen, he wrote, persuaded Samantha Cohen to withdraw her resignation, which she had submitted after Guite was dismissed. Now, Guite was the Queen's press secretary, and apparently he was dismissed. The mother of three agreed as private secretary to help Meghan through the wedding and beyond. Samantha Cohen was a longtime member of the royal household who, after joining the Queen's staff in 2001 as a deputy communications secretary, quickly rose through the ranks over her 17 years to become the monarch's assistant private secretary. The Australian-born professional worked closely with Lord Guite, the Queen's private secretary and trusted aide. So this was a woman in high regard, and Her Majesty asked her to, please rethink your resignation and please go and assist Meghan. Again, Meghan received zero help, but here is the Queen literally placing a well-trusted press secretary and professional to assist her. In June of 2018, Cohen officially joined the staff of Harry and Meghan as private secretary, a post she held for 18 months, stepping down in October of 2019 at around the time that the couple reassessed their royal roles. Now she is working for the Prime Minister. Now, under the leadership of Cohen, she had a huge group of people, including Jason Knopf, who were there to help Meghan learn about her expectations about becoming a royal and her service to the nation. There would be 6 months of listening and learning. So in my opinion, they were giving her like a Duchess internship. They were like, we're going to hold your hand. We don't expect much from you. There's going to be a lot of listening and learning. You're going to shadow the Queen. You're going to shadow people. You have a whole staff of people here. And we're going to help introduce you into the royal way of doing things. Again, Meghan completely lied on the Oprah Winfrey interview. Now, we know that Jason Knopf, of course, is the most well-known staff member. He is the one who received all the bullying allegation complaints. He's the one who sent out that email in 2018, which, of course, became the foundation for Buckingham Palace doing that investigation where they changed their HR policies. Now, a lot of people, were questioning, well, they didn't find anything. Why wasn't it released? Well, in my personal opinion, they did it to protect, one, Meghan, and two, the people who were involved in the bullying allegations. And also, this was a private matter being held by the firm. They never said they were going to release the findings, but the fact that they made a lot of changes internally, in my opinion, speaks volumes. Now, in addition to the core team, Bauer claims that Lady Susan Hussey, the monarch's long-serving lady-in-waiting and godmother to Prince William, visited Meghan in Nottingham Cottage to offer her help and advice, along with other close companions of the Queen. Again, Her Majesty was literally rolling out the red carpet, going out of her way to make sure that Meghan felt comfortable. They said, quote, considering the importance of making a mixed-race woman welcome, Cohen's team tactfully sought to understand Meghan's concerns, her priorities, and how her ambitions could be realized. For hours, they discussed resolutions to problems and how she could feel part of the royal family. Now, during the Oprah Winfrey interview, she sat there with her little duck face and said, quote, I would say I went into this naively because I didn't grow up knowing much about the royal family, Meghan said, when asked about going into her marriage and becoming a working royal at the same time. She continues, I didn't fully understand what the job was. What does it mean to be a working royal? What do you do, and what does that mean? Harry and I were very aligned with our cause-driven work that was part of our initial connection. Again, that initial connection, that fake initial connection that she created by being a philanthropist with her PR tours of Rwanda. Again, poor Harry thinks he has a real connection, but he actually had the wool pulled over his eyes. But there was no way to understand what the day-to-day was going to be like, and so different because I didn't, quote, romanticize any element of it. Again, she had 14 people assigned to her at her beck and call. People in my opinion, over-welcomed her. They were trying to roll out the red carpet. They were, tiptoeing around her. They were definitely trying to listen to her concerns. They were being very sensitive to the fact that, one, she's an American. Two, she's a half African American. She's a commoner. So she needed a lot of help. So they definitely were surrounding her with the right people. Her Majesty literally gave her key core people to ensure that Meghan had the proper training and the proper assistance necessary so she could feel welcome into the firm. And during the Oprah Winfrey interview, Harry and Meghan both said that she was welcomed into the royal family. So again, it's like, was she welcomed or were they racist? Which is it? Because they're completely different, ends of the spectrum here. Her Majesty the Queen went out of her way. In my opinion, she gave Meghan special treatment. And it is proven during their dating where she got security detail, where Harry's other girlfriends did not get that same luxury. She was also allowed to attend events that other, girlfriends were not allowed to attend. In my opinion, they overcompensated for Meghan. And how did she show her appreciation? She crapped on him. Now we know that Meghan and Harry, in March of 2020, 1 year and 9 months after their wedding day, they stepped down and performed their last official duty as full-time working royals and went to go live, quote, financially independent in America. I literally chuckle every time I hear this financially independent because this man has never been financially independent. Becoming financially independent doesn't mean you're born into $20 million and your daddy gives you a check for $5 million. It says, good luck, son. Make something of yourself out in America. I mean, the guy's already a multi-millionaire. He has more money than most of us will ever see in our entire life, and he acts like he's hitting the bottom of the barrel. Whew, it's a good thing I had that money from my mom and that money from my dad. I mean, gosh, I don't know what we would have done. I don't know, live in a smaller house and get a job. I don't know. It's like the guy has life-altering money, but yet it still wasn't enough. And he still wanted, us to pay for his security in America. He literally thought he was going to have us pay for his security. Again, if you're financially independent, that means you do it all yourself, son. Not, I go to another mansion and then my daddy pays my bills. And then America pays for my security. No, that's not what it means. Now, of course, we have the whole racist allegations that Meghan talked about. And again, she reminds me of someone I know. A friend of mine is married to someone who's literally the twin of Meghan. Like they were cut from the same cloth. They will take anything that's a small slight and turn it into a mountain. They will, everyone will say, oh, a little comment, and she'll take it the wrong way and make it into a big deal and play the victim and make everything about herself. Like she's literally one of the worst people I've ever met. And my friend's married to her, nothing you could do about it, but she's one of those people that she's always looking for something. What can I pick apart? What did that person say? Oh, did you roll your eye at me? Oh my God, look at this person. She's being rude. She's being a racist. Like there's always those type of people who are always looking for something they can pull the victim card. And we have some conflicting, accounts that happened during the Oprah Winfrey interview where they mentioned that a member of the royal family had made this racist comment, but they were never going to tell people who it was. Then what was the point of saying it? What was the whole point of bringing this to national television if you weren't going to release it? Now, this is where the palace, of course, released the recollections may vary, but now there's a story that has come out according to Tom Bower that in the very beginning of the relationship with Harry and Meghan that Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, supposedly made a joke. So this is what Tom Bower says. Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, told an amused Prince Harry that it would be funny if his child had ginger afro 6 months after he began dating Meghan Markle, the new book alleges. So this is apparently just, barely 6 months into their dating relationship. The remark may have been the source of some of Meghan's fury for more than 4 years later, which she unloaded to Oprah Winfrey and a global television audience, provoking claims of racism in the royal family. Now, the hilarious thing about this whole situation is the only documented royal racist in the family is actually Harry. Harry got in a lot of trouble when he was in the military. He made some really bad off-cuff remarks, calling some of his military mates, quote, raghead. It was on videotape. He got in so much trouble that he was forced to go to sensitivity training. And this is actually on his military record. He was forced to go to sensitivity training. He is also quoted as saying he told a black comedian, you don't sound black, and supposedly told one of his friends he was dating a girl from South Africa, but, quote, don't worry, she's not black. Yeah, that aged pretty well, didn't it, Harry? And then, of course, the infamous Halloween costume where he's dressed as a Nazi. But hey, Harry's not racist. He married a woman who's half black. But again, if we're going to talk about the actual documented racist family members, well, that would be Harry. So Meghan, look who you married. Okay? So according to Tom Bower, there was a huge meeting that happened between Prince Charles, Camilla, and Harry back in November of 2016 to discuss arrangements to do with Meghan after their 6-month-long secret relationship had become public, meaning, Meghan tipped off the paps. In the meeting, it was discussed whether Meghan could continue her acting career and if she could not automatically expect 24-hour police protection. Again, this is when Harry made that little, statement to the press, leave my girlfriend alone. She's not my mom. She's not, leave her alone. Where she was literally forcing Harry to make this statement and demanding security. Yes, Meghan was demanding security. In one version, Camilla remarked, wouldn't it be funny if your child had ginger afro hair? Harry laughed. Meghan's reaction to that conversation turned amusement into fury. Again, she was looking for something where she could start chipping away at the foundation of his family relationships, in my opinion. In the Oprah interview early last year, there were different versions put forward. Meghan inferred the conversation occurred while she was pregnant and involved the baby's security, his title, and concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he was born. You know, the infamous, "What? What?" that Oprah did. But Harry said the conversation was at the start of their relationship. So which was it? Were they talking about his Afro hair or the color of her skin? Was it when they were dating? Was she pregnant? They can't even get their own story straight. So to me, that's a red flag. He said that was right at the beginning when she wasn't going to get security. See, when Meghan immediately didn't get what she wanted, that pissed her off. When members of my family were suggesting that she carries on acting because there was not enough money to pay for her and all of this sort of stuff. Ding, ding, ding. Meghan's not happy. Like there were some real obvious signs before we even got married that this was going to be really hard. So is he trying to say that, oh, there was racism peeking out early in the family, that they weren't going to give Meghan security? Again, Meghan was feeding his little brain with these little thoughts, trying to make him doubt his family's, intentions for her, already planting the seeds. That conversation I am never going to share. At the time, it was awkward and I was a bit shocked. Now, after the race bombshell, the Queen released a statement that recollections may vary. Bowery notes that none of Harry's previous girlfriends had given up working or had police protection. This is 6 months into the relationship. They're not even engaged yet. They don't get engaged for another year, and yet she wants protection. Again, demanding all of these things extremely early, yet none of his previous girlfriends had any of that special treatment. And he's like, oh, I could tell in the beginning this was going to be difficult. Planting the seeds. Harry also knew that Charles's limited income meant the annual allowance to himself would never exceed $1.5 million, a substantial amount by most standards. Finally, in his view, any family speculation about a child's appearance was unfortunately seen by his elders as lighthearted. Now, I can see people making jokes. If you're new to a situation, maybe they don't realize it could become offensive to somebody. People say things off the cuff, and they don't always mean it in a negative or racist way. Sometimes people just say stuff like, because it's different, they don't know how to deal with it, so they make a joke. So someone's saying, oh, I wonder if he has a ginger afro. Well, that doesn't make it a racist comment. Maybe it was a little off color, maybe a little insensitive, but according to the author, Harry thought it was funny, so he goes and tells Meghan, oh, Camilla said this really funny joke. You want to hear it? She was like, I wonder if their kids are going to have a ginger afro. Bump. And Meghan's like, excuse me? That's racist. And then Harry's like, oh, right. You're right. It's racist. And then all of a sudden now it's a problem. Do you see what I'm saying? Meghan was not even there during these conversations, so they were playing a game of telephone where Charles and Camilla and Harry had a little joke and a little conversations, and he goes home and he relays it to Meghan, and it might get misconstrued, and now Meghan's pissed about it, and she's keeping it in her arsenal, and then 4 years later she puts it out on TV that they're racist, and these are comments that they said about me because, I'm half black. Racist. Meanwhile, forgetting all of the special treatment that Her Majesty and the royal family laid out for her, how nice and welcoming they all were, how the future King of England walked her ungratefulness down the aisle in place of her daddy. But no, let's forget all about that and let's make this huge deal about racism where they have 0 facts and 0 receipts. And they bring up a comment that was made 4 years earlier, and she wasn't even present when it happened. That's called somebody who never wanted to be part of the royal family and is trying to chip it down one by one, all because They didn't give Megsy the security when she wanted it. She took revenge out on the royal family because Megxit, remember, they thought they were going to be half in and half out. They were going to pick and choose, and the royal family said no. So she is bitter. This is a woman who was revengeful, and she took a comment taken out of context 4 years earlier and puts it on Oprah Winfrey? Seriously, that's called revenge. She was trying to throw the royal family under the bus, saying, oh, you're not going to give me what I want? Oh, you're not going to give Archie security and a title? Well, I'm going to show you. And then they come out with all of that stuff on Oprah, in my opinion. So the last story we have is a little bit of a lighthearted story. It's regarding Pippa Middleton. The younger sister of Kate Middleton may follow in her sister's footsteps with a new aristocratic title. Now, Pippa Middleton and her husband, James Matthews, have reportedly named their newborn daughter, Rose, having welcomed their third child earlier this summer. The younger Middleton followed her older sister's footsteps, giving birth to a baby girl in the Linda wing of St. Mary's Hospital, the same location where she and James had their first two children and where all three of the Cambridge children were born. Pippa married Matthews in a grand May 2017 ceremony at St. Mark's Church, Inglefield, Berkshire, near the Middleton family home. Now, according to unearthed reports, Pippa is set to inherit an aristocratic title in the future. Pippa's father-in-law, David Matthews, is the Laird of Glen Affric and owns the 10,000 area Scottish estate near Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. His oldest son, James, Pippa's husband, will inherit the hereditary title upon his death, and Pippa is expected to be bestowed with her own title, one that would be recognized in the Commonwealth. So congratulations to Pippa, who's a future lady in Scotland. Every time I hear the word laird, I always think of Outlander. I never even knew laird was a thing, but that sounds very exciting. And also it's near Loch Ness. I mean, what a great location. So that's all I have for you today. What do you guys think of these royal stories of, Meghan being proved a liar once again, of having a full staff of people to be there and help her and give her proper Duchess training and an induction into the royal family? What do you think about the supposed racist remarks? And do you believe they actually happened the way that Meghan and Harry said that they happened? And what do you think about Pippa Middleton and her husband becoming a laird of a Scottish estate? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for coming by my channel. And if you haven't checked out my other social media accounts, please do. I'm almost at 60,000 on TikTok. I have about 58,000 followers. Please help me get to 60,000 followers on TikTok, and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel because it really helps me grow my channel. Thank you guys, and have an awesome and amazing day. Bye, guys.